I'm going to explain to you how the ranked system works in Overwatch 2. So it's very similar to Overwatch 1, but there's a huge change that may have a lot of you confused. It might be why you're looking up this video. So this is like the overview page for, the overview picture basically for the ranks in Overwatch 2. This is what the icons look like now. And there are 5 divisions per tier, and 5 is going to be the lowest for each one. 1 is the highest. So if you are Silver 5, you have to go to 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the next time you go up, it'll be Gold 5, in theory. But it can actually change by more than that, which we'll talk about in a minute. It's important to know that Bronze through Diamond, you can group with your friends, I think all the way up into 5 stacks, and you can do it within 2 divisions. So a Gold can actually queue with a Diamond, which would be pretty rough, but you can do it. And vice versa. Bronze can queue with a Gold, a Silver can queue with the Platinum, or just all Silvers or Silver and Gold, whatever. You can queue with your friends. Once you get to Masters, a Master can only queue with a Diamond or a Grandmaster player. And even then, because Grandmaster players have a limit where they can only group with players who are within 3 divisions, a Grandmaster's 5 could queue with a Masters 1, 2, and 3. But if your Master's 4 or 5, you can't queue with a Grandmaster then. Or if it's Grandmaster 3, the only Masters player you could queue with would be a Grandmaster or a Masters 1, because that'd be within 3 divisions, which are like they're divided into 5s. It's also important to note that Grandmaster players can only queue solo or in a party of 2. So if you ever get to this point in your career, you can only play with 1 friend at a time maximum. Now, when it comes to the actual select screen, there are 3 different roles, and your rank will be different for every one. You'll have to place for every single one of these, or you can do all, and it'll put you into each one, but it'll still be queuing each individual one, not some hybrid crossover. It's just whichever one it finds a match for first, it'll throw you into whichever one for the respective rank that you are in whichever one. So now when you talk about how do you place and how does your rank change, that's where things are different. It used to be that each individual match, you would go up or down, just right then and there, 25 or minus 25, plus 25, plus 27, minus 23, whatever. It would change. Now, it is 7 wins or 20 losses. So the way that works is, say I'm going to queue for damage. If I want to queue for damage, I want to place, I have to play until I have either won 7 games or lost 20 games. So in the worst case scenario, I would have to play 26 games in order to place, because it would be possible to win 6 games and lose 20 games. And then I would place because I lost 20. And those wins do matter, though, when it comes to this. My assumption. I mean, I'm assuming this, but based on my history of knowing Overwatch, I think it's very likely, I'll have to test, but I think it's likely that it's just, this whole thing is just disguising the old system, basically. And what I mean by that is that if you lose 25 MMR. If you win, you gain 25 MMR, roughly. It varies a little. And all of this is just disguising that system that's in play. And so if you lose 15 and win 7, then you'll probably go down a rank and when it replaces you. But there's a hidden MMR that is all doing it based off. That's my assumption. I just stay with the grain of salt because I haven't fully tested. But I'd be surprised if that's not what's going on. But again, I could be wrong, so don't hold me to that. So now we talk about the ranks and what happened. So they did a soft MMR reset when they made Overwatch 2. So when I placed, it put me in Diamond 4. And even though I was Grandmaster before, and that happened to a lot of people, if you won all your games and you were top 500 before, it put you in Masters. So that's kind of where it was at. And then I went on to do more games. And I won 7 out of 7. And it put me up 2 divisions. I went from Diamond 4 to Diamond 2 in one cycle. And I assume that's because I won 7. And then that would make sense to my previous theory, which is that would be about almost 200 MMR, which would take you up a rank. So basically, this is all just a disguise, in my opinion, of Diamond 5 is the old 3,000. Diamond 4 is 3,100 before. Diamond 3 is 3,200, 3,300, 34, until Diamond 1 is 3,400. You get to 3,500 remastered. It's basically just a new overlay for the old system, and they're just trying to do it in a way so we don't have to think about our losses, because I'm pretty sure the motivation for doing this was they don't want people to do the thing where you go on this huge loss streak, and you're like, oh man, I lost all this SR. You don't feel that as strongly when you're not seeing it, or you may even halfway through your session quit for the day on 17 losses and not really see the fruits of your losses until tomorrow. So it kind of breaks that cycle. Whether or not that's good, we'll see. Whether or not it actually helps people in any way, shape, or form psychologically, we'll see. Okay, so I made this quick little diagram using the icons to help you visualize this in case you're feeling a little lost just listening to the words and looking at a blank screen of the queue system or whatever. So say I place in silver 3. Okay, now what happens next is I play games. And whichever comes first, it's one or the other. So it's or for these. And it is, do I win 7 or 20? So again, I could lose 19 games in a row and nothing will happen still. And then I win 7 games in a row, and then it's going to decide what happens next. Although if I lost that many and won that many, I don't think I'd go from 3 to 1. I don't think I'd go up. You'd go down. You'd probably go from 3 to 4. You'd go this way. But assuming that you do good, say you're at silver 3, and you win all 7 matches, it may make you go up 2 divisions in one go. So what happens is when this is done and you hit this quota or this quota, that's when you get any kind of feedback about your rank, and it'll pop up a thing and be like, basically, new placement, what happened, like, where are you now? And it'll show you your new rank. Wow, you downgraded or you upgraded. Now you're silver this, silver that, 1 or 4 or 3, whatever. You moved up or down. And then from there, it gets reset and you do it again. And now you have to either win 7 or lose 20, and then it will reevaluate again. And then it will pick your new rank. So say again, say next time it doesn't go as well, you lose 5 games, you win 7, but you still did good. And now instead of going up 2 ranks, we're just going to go up, it's just going to put you up 1 rank. So instead of jumping 2, you'll go from silver 1 up to gold 5, which is the lowest gold. And then you do it again and say same thing, you, I don't know, win 7, lose 4, and you go up another rank. Wow, you open another division, now you're gold 4. Okay, moving up in the world. So that's kind of the system. But in my opinion, this is all kind of just a new overlay for the old system, where the old system was basically 1 win equals plus 25 MMR, 1 loss equals minus 25 MMR. And this was kind of different because, like, at lower ranks, this would actually be, like, if you're in silver, you'd only lose, like, 23 or 22 or 21 on a loss, and you'd gain, like, 26, 27 on a win. So it's easier to climb in a lower rank because of that, where the higher you go, the closer it is 50-50. And once you're really high, it's actually like, once you're top 500, a win only gives like 19 and a loss gives like 28, minus 28 or something. So you have to win like 60% to keep climbing. So there's a scale like that. And I'm assuming it's all just going to be the same. So it's basically just checking the same thing, where like this is effectively, I don't remember what diamond, I think this would be 1700 MMR for silver 3. And then this one's going to be 1900 MMR. And then this one would be 2000 MMR, and then this one would be 2100 MMR. It's just, you know, putting lipstick on a pig, basically. It's the same system as far as I'm aware. Maybe they changed some mechanism behind it, but it all lines up that that's pretty much what's going on. So that's why if you do lose, if you're here, okay, let's say actually you are right here, and you're 1900 MMR, and you lose 15 and win 7, well, then look at this, basically what happened. And you're like, okay, I lost 15, so that's 25, it's 250, you add another 5, that's whatever, 350, so minus 350, but I won 5, so whatever, you know, and then, okay, that's minus 250 or whatever, and you go down 2 divisions, now you're this, whatever. It could be like that. That's what it seems like. Now, don't hold me to that, though, because I've still got a lot of testing to do. I've only played for, like, you know, 10 hours now or so gameplay, but and I've watched streams of people and stuff, and this is what it seems like's happening, and I'm just pretty sure that's what's going on. How do you see your rank? You go to your profile, and it's really bad now, honestly. You can see it right here, and it's so hard to see. It's so tiny that if you're on I'm on a 1080 monitor. If I was on a 4K monitor, I actually would not be able to read that probably. Or maybe I have that backwards. Maybe a bigger monitor make it easier, but I feel like it'd make it worse. But yeah, you can see it here. That's how you can see other people. You can also go here to look at previous seasons. Also, they wiped our previous season data, which sucks. I can't look at my season 1 data anymore, I think. So that sucks. I still have roll queue beta, though. Look at that. Anyway, so yeah, that's where you can see your rank for each role. You can see how many games you won, stuff like that. And that's also where you can view the leaderboard, which doesn't exist yet, which is the only way I know how to view the leaderboard. It used to be back in here somewhere. You like right-click here, but... Oh, there. No, it still is there. Oh, they actually have it still here. Okay, never mind. It is still there. All right. Well, anyway, that's the leaderboard. Okay. And that is how the rank system works. That's how you go up. That's how you go down. And I can't think of anything else to say about it. There are rewards at the end of the season. I guess I did think of something else to say about it. You'll be able to see that. And this is the same thing as before. This has always been a thing. It's just the same thing again, which is you get competitive points based on where you end for a season. So if you're in Grandmasters or above, you get 1,750 competitive points at the end of the season. If you're in Bronze, you get 65, Silver 125, whatever. So the higher rank you go, then at the end of a season, you get these competitive points, which were for golden guns before. I don't know if that's still what they're for. I haven't even looked into it. I can look into it right now, maybe. Weapons. Yeah, the golden one. I guess I already have his golden gun. Oh my god, 34,600 competitive points. Yeah. So you would go here and you would unlock it using those competitive points from your competitive season. And, or you just hold on to them like me and just let them overcap. Overcapping is dumb though, because if I remember this right, unless they change it, you get competitive points from the games themselves. So if you get capped, then you only get it from the season rewards. That's how I'm overcapped like that. But then again, I have no idea if they changed it or not, or if there's not a cap anymore. I don't even pay attention to that. But that's a system that exists. Be aware of that. And if you want to know how long a season lasts, there's probably more than one way to find out. But the way that I think to do is go to Challenges Season, and you can see how long's left in the season right here. When I made this video, there are 2 months left to the season before we move on to season 35 or 36 or 34, whatever it was. Yeah. And there's also, I guess I should say, there's open queue and roll queue that each have their own ranks. So, you know, it's just like you have these 3 ranks. There's a 4th one, which is the open queue rank as well. Now I think I covered everything. If I forgot anything, just comment and ask me, and I will try to read the comments and answer your question, because it's really hard to remember everything. There might be some really obvious thing that I completely overlooked. So if that happened and there's some question you have, just work with me here, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will try my best to remember to go and read them and answer any questions that you have about this. But generally speaking, that's how the new ranked system works in Overwatch 2.